So now we're going to demonstrate how we glue up a case box or a frame, anything that has miter joints. We're going to demonstrate this process that I've refined over the years, that I've found to work the best, produce the least amount of errors, and provide a really great finished product at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to kind of explode it into its parts. We're going to put everything against the alignment guide to keep everything flat. And so let's go ahead and get to work. So we're going to explode this, keeping all the components aligned how they're going to be when everything gets put together. So we get the parts aligned in a perfectly straight line. We push everything together. We can see that there's no daylight in our gaps. That's perfect. That's just what we want. That means they're going to come together nice and tight. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put tape across all the joints like this. We're going to pull it tight so there's some tension in that tape. Apply pressure on one side, and then I'm pulling on the tape to put tension into it as I apply it to the second side. That pulls everything snug together, and when we pull it all together, it makes sure that there won't be any slippage of those joints right there. Now while we're here, we're going to apply these clamping jigs. So when these corners were cut at 22.5 degrees, they produced these wedge offcuts. Now, these wedge offcuts provide an absolutely perfect match or mirror image for the joints to be glued, and it provide a 90-degree clamping surface over these weird angles. So I'm going to go ahead and put these together, and I'll show you what it'll make more sense in the end. So we're going to put a little glue on this tape. We're going to use, this is CA glue. We're going to put the accelerator on here and place them like so. Hold it there. These are all in good shape. They're tight. So now our alignment guide has done its job. Everything is where it should be. Now we're going to gently roll this over. It's okay if things shimmy a little bit, because we know that tape was applied to hold everything in place when it comes together. Now this exposes our glue joints here, and then at the far ends. So next we're going to want to bring in our window pane. Now this pane, once this is all glued up, the pane's going to be in there. There's no way of getting it out. That's what these dados are for. Now, if you can, again, errors along the way and learning and growing, I found that if you leave the film on your pane as much as you can, but just pull away the edges, so those are exposed, because those will be going down into the dado. And that way, if you accidentally hit this with a clamp or something, it won't scratch it, or if you get glue on it, it won't damage the glass. Because if you do that and the glass is embedded within the case, well, then you're out of luck. It's not removable, so you pretty much have to scrap the whole project. So as much as you can, try to keep the film on, peel away the borders that will be set down into the dado. Now, just so this doesn't kind of, there's a tiny little gap once this is all closed up, you know, probably a 1/16 of an inch around, but I'm going to apply some West System G-Flex into these dados in certain spots, just so this will be held in place and won't wobble around. So let's go ahead and mix up some G-Flex. All right, so now we're going to apply some glue to these faces, and then we're going to pull the whole thing together and glue it up. I'm using Tight Bond 3 for this. All right, that's it for the glue. Now we're going to put the pane in and then pull everything together. Let's have a couple of strips of tape here to seal off the bring the top together tight, and we're going to be ready to put this in clamps. All right. So now is when we're relying on our tape tension to bring everything together nice and tight. Okay.